27th, 2022, and I'm all packed and ready to go. I leave in the morning, probably about 5:30, and I'm taking my 2021 Harley Davidson Pan America to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, also known as Deadhorse. I've got my panniers packed. This one's camping gear. The center one's got all my maintenance gear. And then the left one's got all my electronics and a few small items. My tea bag's got all my clothing in it, shaving gear, and I'm taking about 4 days worth of clothing. Then I'll wash as I go along. My tank bag's got my digital SLR camera, and I changed the tires just a couple of days ago. Went with the Dunlop Trail Max tires. I think it was probably a good choice. Um, I think I'm ready to go. I'm pretty excited, and we'll see. I left Temecula, California on May 28th about 5:30 in the morning. The plan is to take Highway 395 north all the way to the Canadian border with the first stop in Reno, Nevada. I made it to Reno driving Highway 395, which I've done numerous times on my way to Sturgis. It's one of my favorite rides. Once I got to Reno, I met up with my friend Dwayne Chamley, who also rides a 2022 Harley Davidson Pan America. And we spent the night at the Best Western there in Reno and headed out the next morning about 8 o'clock. Instead of taking 395 north, we decided to go east on Highway 80 to Wadsworth, Nevada, and then take the Highway 447 north up through Empire. If you watch the movie Nomadland, they talk about Empire in that movie. And we took that to Gerlach, Nevada, and then went north on Highway 34 to Soldiers Meadow Road. Soldiers Meadow Road's about a 98-mile gravel road. It was some great riding. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Had one scary moment where I hit sand and went skidding all over the road, but wasn't a problem. On Monday, May 30th, we got up and cleaned and lubed our chains on our bikes and then headed out. We decided to stay on 395 today because the weather was bad. It was raining and snowing. It got down to 34 degrees. We kind of kept an eye on the temperature gauge to make sure that the water on the highway didn't freeze. It was pretty chilly, but we made it with no problems. At Spokane, I said goodbye to my friend Dwayne and headed east through Coeur d'Alene, north up through Sandpoint, and then on up to the Kings Gate crossing for the border crossing into Canada. I downloaded the app Entry Canada and had already preloaded my passport, my registration for my vehicle, and my vaccination records, and answered all the questions. And I think that was expected because they had it right there on the computer when I pulled up. Uh, the border crossing was easy. As you can see, there was one truck and one car in front of me. The truck went through right away. The car spent maybe 2 or 3 minutes there. And then I pulled up. When I pulled up, he noticed my video camera was running, and that pissed him off. But once he got the wad out of his panties, we had a nice conversation, and he ended up being very professional. I'd say I spent maybe, I don't know, 5 to 8 minutes total at the border crossing. That includes waiting in line. It was pretty easy crossing. I didn't mention earlier that when I crossed the border, I filled up in a little area called Curzon. And from there, I took the 93 north to the 3 east to the 22 north to the 533 east to the 2. And I'll tell you, I drove 232 miles on one tank because I couldn't find a gas station. And I hadn't filled up my gas bladder yet, so I was kind of sweating bullets there. Anyway, Calgary was a really cool town. I went to the Harley dealer there and bought some cold weather gloves because I forgot mine. And then when I stayed at the Best Western out by the airport in Calgary, and they had some of the best food I think I ate on the whole trip. Anyway, I left Calgary, took the 2 north up by Edmonton, and then the 43 down to over to Valley View, where I decided to camp for the night. It was a real nice campground, and it was my first time using my Lone Rider tent. I woke up after a night of camping and did not sleep well. So I packed up early, about I think it was about 5 o'clock, loaded my bike and headed out on Highway 43 through Grand Prairie and then up to Dawson Creek. The plan was to spend some time in Dawson Creek, take some photos, and just kind of hang out at the beginning of the Alaska Highway. That took about 15 minutes. Um, you can see the grain elevator up ahead there. That's in the same parking lot as the monument. You go around the traffic circle and you're right there. So I take a couple of photos there, go into Old Town, take some photos of the monument there, and head on out to Fort St. John, where I'm going to camp at Charlie Lake. I get there, it's 10:30 a.m., way too early to end the day. So I decided to go and do my next day's ride. You can see the monument right there on the right in the parking lot. And so I go ahead and do the next day's ride. It puts me a full day ahead of schedule. And I arrive at Fort Nelson later that afternoon. It was a long, hard day after no sleep. But again, it took me a full day ahead of schedule. So I'm going to end this video, trying to keep them all 10 or 12 minutes, no more. And part 2 will be the ride on the Alaska Highway all the way up to Prudhoe Bay or Deadhorse. So thank you for watching. I'll put links to parts 2, 3, and 4 in the description down below.